Yo, what is up guys, it's me Zachary, and let's just hop right into everything that we gotta talk about today. But first, I do have to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, everyone's favorite sponsor, SeatGeek. And honestly, I just can't say enough good things about SeatGeek as a company. The reason you see so many YouTubers, especially NBA related YouTubers, promoting SeatGeek is because they are the truth. They are a company that you can trust. You guys have no idea how many emails I get from companies asking me to promote their product or do some type of service for them. And a lot of them seem like just generic copy and paste messages that they send out to a bunch of different content creators. Sometimes they even forget to change the name of the last content creator they tried to send this out to. I remember maybe about a month ago, I got one and they thought I was Oprah Cyrus and they thought I was OSN. They thought I didn't know anything about basketball at all. But that's completely different with SeatGeek. You guys can get some real benefits out of this by using it to go to games or any other live events. And you also get $20 off your first order when you use the promo code SDC. Really great app. You can check it out by using the link in the description box below. Now on to the video. So ever since LeBron James took his talents to the Western Conference, one thing that a lot of us fans have been asking ourselves, one of the biggest conversations in the NBA is, who is the best player now in the Eastern Conference? Of course, LeBron James has had that title, well, actually the title of the best player in the NBA, which automatically gives him the title of the best player in the Eastern Conference for as long as I can remember. But now with him out of the picture, there are going to be a lot of players in the Eastern Conference trying to prove that they are the one, that they are now the new king of the East. And of course, Skip Bayless was the first one to give his thoughts on the opinion all the way back at the beginning of July, as right after LeBron went to the West Coast, he tweeted out saying that the best player in the East is now Joel Embiid, which could be true. He was clearly one of the best players in the East last season, and he himself has said that this upcoming season he plans to win MVP. Even though I do want to say that winning MVP doesn't automatically make you the best player in your conference. I mean, for example, you take a look at Russell Westbrook and James Harden, the last two MVP winners. And this is no shots towards them. They are both elite level players, no question about it. But were they really even the best players in their conference, if we're being honest here? Was Russell Westbrook and James Harden better than Kevin Durant? So even though James Harden and Russell Westbrook won MVP, they might not have been the best player in their conference. So Joel Embiid could still win MVP and he still might not even be the best player in the Eastern Conference. But of course he does have a chance. There's no question about that. However, a lot of people did disagree with that statement. Some people saying that the best player in the East is going to be Kyrie Irving, which is also a real possibility. And he, like Joel Embiid, will have a legitimate shot of winning MVP this upcoming season because the Boston Celtics are about to be a real powerhouse, not just in the Eastern Conference, but in the entire NBA. And I think they should win at least around 60 games, if we're being honest, considering how many games they won last year when they were without Gordon Hayward the entire season. Kyrie Irving was in and out of the lineup and missed the end of the season. And add to that, they'll be getting a more experienced Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown back. Yeah, I for sure expect the Boston Celtics to win at least 60 games, and Kyrie Irving more than likely will still be the best player on that team. So there's no doubt that Kyrie Irving will be in the conversation for the best player in the East. But then we all know what happens next. The Toronto Raptors trade for Kawhi Leonard, moving him from the West to the Eastern Conference. And I feel like a lot of people forgot just how great Kawhi Leonard is when he is 100% healthy. 2 years ago, there was a legitimate discussion between who is better, him or Kevin Durant, who is the second best player in the NBA behind LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard or Kevin Durant, meaning that at the time, at the very least, Kawhi Leonard was the third best player in the NBA, if not the second best player in the NBA. So now that you move him over to the Eastern Conference, he automatically shoots to probably the top of the list. However, there is still one more player that people were talking about, especially when Skip Bayless originally proclaimed Joel Embiid to be the best player in the East. And that player that people were talking about was, of course, none other than Giannis Atentokounmpo. And you remember that Giannis himself even responded to Skip Bayless saying that Joel Embiid is the best player by saying, "That's all I need for this summer. Thank you, Skip. Hashtag motivation. Hashtag motivation, Giannis said. And well, yesterday we got a glimpse of exactly how much motivation Skip Bayless gave to Giannis Atentokounmpo. Take a look at this picture of Giannis Atentokounmpo that surfaced yesterday. I mean, I don't think this dude has left the gym the entire summer. He hasn't put down no weight. He's probably curling in his sleep. This dude came into the league looking like a skinny version of Kevin Durant. That is why when he first started to emerge as a future star in the NBA, people used to call him a mix between LeBron James and Kevin Durant, since his game was more similar to a young LeBron James, but he had the body frame of Kevin Durant. But now you look at him and this dude's biceps got more biceps on top of his biceps, and those biceps got a six-pack with biceps on top of a six-pack with another bicep on top of that. However, I do want to take this time to point out that Giannis needs to tell his brother on the far right to stop skipping leg days. Like for real, my guy, work on those legs. If the wind blows too hard, they might snap in half. But anyways, let's now talk about Giannis Atentokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks for a little bit. They were disappointing this last season, no question about that. You can't say they were the most disappointing team in the NBA because that title no doubt belongs to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but the Milwaukee Bucks were up there. Yeah, Giannis did start off the season looking like a lock to win MVP. He was doing some incredible things, dropping back-to-back 30 and 40 point games on some of the most efficient shooting that the NBA has ever seen. But then he cooled off a little bit. When I say cool off, he didn't become bad. He wasn't bad at all. He still averaged 27, 10, and 5 on the year with over a block and a steal per game. But the Bucks as a whole, after Giannis cooled off, they were hard to watch. Coming into the season, people thought they were going to be a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, that it was going to be between them and the Boston Celtics to give the Cleveland Cavaliers a serious run for their money in the Eastern Conference Finals. It did turn out that way for the Boston Celtics, but not so much for the Milwaukee Bucks, as instead of battling for the 3rd seed or a top 3 seed in the East, the Milwaukee Bucks were battling to stay in the playoffs period. They wound up as a 7th seed with a 44 and 38 record, and then of course went on to lose to the Boston Celtics in a 7-game series in the first round, which in hindsight is still bad considering the Boston was missing so much. But at the same time, when you think about it, the Boston Celtics did go on to beat Philly in 5 and then came this close to beating LeBron James in 7 games. Like, all Terry Rozier needed to do was hit a couple of his shots and it would have been the Boston Celtics against the Golden State Warriors instead of LeBron James against the Golden State Warriors. So the Bucks taking that Celtics team to 7 games might not have been as bad as we thought it was when it actually happened. Nonetheless though, Milwaukee was an absolute mess. The addition of Eric Bledsoe, who when the Bucks originally traded for him, we were all rejoicing. We were like, finally, Milwaukee now has that 3rd guy to play next to Giannis Atentokounmpo and Chris Middleton. We were hyped, but that hype didn't pan out to be all we thought it was, as Eric Bledsoe was nothing special for the Milwaukee Bucks at all. And then you look at Thon Maker. He didn't make any significant improvement from year 1 to year 2. Malcolm Brogdon got hurt, and Jabari Parker did come back from his injury, but when he came back, he was coming off the bench and he didn't really mesh well with the team they had. And then add on top of that they had an absolutely terrible coach in Jason Kidd, and then you were left with Giannis Atentokounmpo and Chris Middleton trying their best to pick up the pieces and just get this team into the playoffs. Now though, first and foremost, they got rid of Jason Kidd and replaced him with an extremely solid coach in Mike Budenholzer, and especially a much better defensive coach than Jason Kidd was, since the Milwaukee Bucks struggled defensively, even though they have a lot of great defensive pieces on their roster. Jabari Parker has moved on to the Chicago Bulls, and that will also help the Bucks defense, since remember, Jabari Parker, when he signed with the Bulls, was like, I ain't getting paid to play defense. You get what you get out of me, just don't expect me to care on the defensive end at all. So that's gonna help Milwaukee's defense a heck of a lot. And then, well, once again, Giannis looks like a freaking absolute tank now. I don't know who is going to be able to stop this guy. He was pretty much unstoppable when he wanted to be last season, but now that he done bulked up twice as bulky as he was last season, and imagine if he actually has a jump shot this year. We say this all the time about Giannis, that he just needs a consistent jump shot, and he's literally a demigod, but if he has it this year and has trained his body this much, it's a wrap. I mean, the guy gets so much better each and every single year. From 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists per game in his rookie year, to 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2.5 assists per game in his second year, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists in his third year, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists the next year, and then of course 27, 10, and 5 last year. So if that happens again this year, if he makes a massive jump from putting up 27, 10, and 5 to like 30, I honestly don't see him getting more than 10 rebounds he was getting per game last year, but I do see him becoming a better playmaker. So let's say 30, 10, and 6. If Giannis Atentokounmpo comes back this next season putting up 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, there's a better play than that in the Eastern Conference. I seriously don't know what to tell you. I'm not quite sure that will be possible. So Giannis and the Bucks, guys, you are definitely going to want to pay special attention to them this upcoming season. We hyped them up the season before, but this year for sure, with the new additions and the addition by subtraction that they made to the team in some cases, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to Giannis Atentokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. But that is gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell as well to turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you once again for watching. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, and until next time, I am out of here. Peace!